Hey guys, Thomas from Team Sakurasou here, come at you guys with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Market Watch for you guys today, and everybody in my comment section has been telling me, Saki, please go over EXOSISTERs. Bruh, it's been a while since we've had a waifu market watch. Where are you at, Saki? Okay, when we needed you most, okay? First, you don't show up at Indie, then you don't show up for the waifu market watches. You suck. All right, that's a real comment, and they use my full government name. That's just a joke. Nobody did. But jokes aside, here we got EXOSISTERs, buyouts, rescues, and a lot of other awesome cards to go over. So we're gonna get right into that. Just make sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell so you do not miss one of these uploads, and go. Let me know in the comment section below what cards I'm going to go over next market watch, as well as something for the algo. Always helps. And hit the notification bell because YouTube doesn't like sending out my videos, but once in a while they like to change their mind. So, EXOSISTER Martha. Now, we talked about this because of Genesis implications, actually. And I said, go get OGs at 3. Very good price here. And right now, they're about $14, going up to $18. There's no real wall here. It just straight up goes to $18. And I have been asked about this since Genesis format. And I've had people who got these around like $5 or $6 a piece because they want it for Genesis. They didn't even go before the hype train. They just was like, oh, this deck might be good in Genesis. The prices went up a bit, but nothing crazy. Let me go get it anyway to have fun. Well, you chose a great time. A wonderful time. You got the mega packs at 10. If you like prismatics, I get it. I will say for the secret rare, while I do like OG secret rare more, the mega packs just look better because it puts more like the background emphasis is the girl more, the woman I should say more, or the girl, I don't even care. And I really like that, right? Sometimes a background could really, in a portrait, can really put emphasis on the things it's focusing on. And that's why I like the mega pack. Probably just as much, if not more, as the original secret. Original secret looks good, but I don't know. This card was made for prismatic secret. Now, we also have these Starlight rares. Now, you got 145, 150 for your limiteds. First Deads are 180s. Now, we've gone over this card when they were like 50s a piece. And I said, you know what? This card can't get a QC. Go ahead and grab it, because I originally, when these were around 50, 60, I said don't grab it. We saw they gave EXOSISTERs QCs. Don't touch us with a 10-foot pole. But now that we're getting Starlight rares, I said, you know what? It's okay if you want to grab it, but you might be waiting for a while. And I mentioned that while I did go over Martha's at the Genesis hype, and I talked about them, we already saw the first that's kind of going up to 75, 80, and I did mention I talked about them at 50, but sometimes you get these cards and you get a $100 plus, let's say 50 to 150 here. In fact, first sets are really 175, right? So about a 150 or more gain, or not 150 more, 100 plus more gain each copy. So if you got a set, you're looking at anywhere from 300 to 350 as a gain, and that's really good. But a lot of you guys probably got this like a year ago, so sometimes you just gotta sit on stuff. Everybody wants to sell stuff right away. EXOSISTER Magnifica, I talked about these at $5, $6, said they were good. They were 7s, and I said, you know what, 7s is fine too, but hopefully got them at 5s. Now they're $14, $15. You got your Starlight rares here at about $45, $55. I really think that most people are just going to go over the QC, but if you're feeling kind of kinky and you want one of these instead, because technically it matches the deck, I don't blame you too much. EXOSISTER Michaelis. I told people CRs at 20 were not bad, but I was worried about the Starlight, so I did put the emphasis on the Martha. But they are about $65 right now. 65, 68, 70. All my EXOSISTER stuff, by the way, sold morning of. The hype was real. I didn't even see the support. I woke up and I checked my orders. I think it was like Monday morning, right? So my Monday market watch was already up. I look at my orders. I get to whatever number it was, and I just start seeing EXOSISTER, EXOSISTER, EXOSISTER. I'm like, something happened. And that's the funny thing about owning a store, is that when you start seeing like a certain archetype and there's many, many orders of it, you automatically know something happened. Someone mentioned something, there was support. It's a really funny indicator that I'm able to bring to the market watches. Michaelis secrets are $5 to $6 to $7. I told people grab that too. I said, yeah, it could get a QC, but instead of gambling on this like, $20-ish CR, you can go ahead and grab the secrets at $2. And I did some math on it, hey, if you move your secrets, especially if they go up to 10, you'll probably make more than the CR going up to 40, 50. And they didn't go to 10s. They went up to 6, 7. but they still went up. So if you got these, good job. Your Ultras, about the same, $6. In fact, I actually have a PSA CR. I'm wondering if I should probably put it up. I got it when they were really cheap. I paid like 20 bucks for it. It's like a 9. For not 10, it's a 9. EXOSISTER packs. Now, I own one singular copy of this for myself because I have a Euro copy and it looks dope. In fact, I actually have it right here. It's probably going to be hard to show off, but in the webcam here, guys, it looks, in fact, you know what? I'm gonna be lazy here. I'm actually just gonna put it downwards so you guys can see it a little bit. Beautiful. The Euro looks so good. I thought I had a Euro for some reason, but then I'm like, no, I only have one. So I'm just keeping it for personal collection because EXOSISTER is a deck that I didn't enjoy playing, but I love the artwork a lot. And it was kind of clashing, right? It felt like branded to me, but branded is something that appeals to people. And I still can enjoy branded, right? If I played it, it's just a lot because different combos come out, you know, it's difficult, etc. And sometimes I just don't have the time. EXOSISTER, I just didn't actually like playing, but maybe I'll give it another go on, you know, Genesis, actually, which, if you guys are watching this video Wednesday, which I know you are, chances are you did not see the Madolche Genesis video because it was not done. Hopefully it'll be done Thursday, tomorrow, or else I'm going to be very pissed. EXOSISTER packs CR is $10. Then we have, which if you want your CRs, they're there. They were like 7s, 8s, so it's not bad. Sophia's, now I'm going to tell you guys to grab these because I talked about this. I said, yeah, I could get a startup, but it's not bad at like 10, 12 bucks, and it's still $12, but the listings are about 10 to 12. Because if you go, and you're probably thinking, Saki, that says 13. No, there's light play. I don't care about light play. 1142, it goes up to 26 here. So you have your CRs right here if you want them. Yeah, it could get a Starlight, but hey, we got the EXOSISTER hype. People want high rarity. $10, especially when you're comparing it to the secrets, like $4 or $5 for the secrets. And then I have the CRs pulled up twice. I guess I meant to pull up the Ultras as well. So the Ultras are like $3. Secrets are $5. There's no point of getting those rarities when the CR is $10. Oh, it gets reprinted as like a Starlight. Who cares? The other ones are going to go to pennies, and the OG CRs are going to hold some type of value. I like this one too. Like, I like her little hat. It's cute. Stella here is also going up like $2, so go through your mega pack bulk. You have a playset of this for sure. I did check the other one, and she's not really going up either. None of the other ones are really going crazy. Because there's another one. It was like the girl, but I think it's because you only play one copy. Tier limits cash Tira here. So this card's actually going up. Tier limits are having a little bit of hype here. $5 here, which, guys, that's not a lot. It's really not. But 33 listings is worrying me. And we have Ultras here at $4 or $5 too. I don't know what's going on, but, you know, let's actually check out tier limits a little bit here before we get on to that Rescue Ace. So we have low listings on these two. Now, I've seen that before. We talked about getting this lower, actually, in a market watch, but everything else looks pretty stable. I mean, you got your ultis here at about $10. And then you have your secrets here at about 13s, a lot higher. These were 7s. I said this card will go up because of hype. This card does even have a rare reprint. You are forced to get that secret. Might want to grab one of these, but I think it has another version. If not, $5 for your copies. You got damage for 150. And then your Starlights are 125, going up to 300. I think that card could still go up more as well here. And then the last card I want to see here is, I think it's called Perlino. Yeah, QCs, which I told people to get these at like $5-6. They're like $6, so they didn't really go up, but they do go up technically to 7s. Second page is going to show us 8, so it's technically going up a bit. Rescue Ace, $3. We got some support announced, and a lot of people are thinking about playing Rescue Ace. A lot of people like this deck, and the deck's still good. I still think this deck is quite good. And if Konami doesn't think it's that good, and maybe it could transfer to Genesis, this deck will go crazy. Because Rescue Ace is, in a way, a fan favorite deck, just because so many people played it, especially with Snake Eyes, and they played the version with Snake Eyes. So a lot of players know how the deck ins and out and how it can be splashed. Casual players still like this somewhat to a degree that I've noticed. Shout out to Jay, fresh off the press, my boy, my brother in arms for Market Watches. He talked about this card at $1. I did not. I did not really talk about this card. He called it. He got the 3X, all right? Your boy Sakurasou was caught Billy Bobbin, all right? You know, at least I wasn't like these other Billy Bobs where they charge on their credit card and then they get bobbing on a cock. Type shit. Anyway, Jay called this. Good shit. Leave a like, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but 100 likes on this video would be wonderful. Rescue Ace Turbulence here. CRs. I think I told people once that because the Hydrant got it Starlight, I would just get other cards at this price. But if you got them, $50, good job. You made some money. In fact, I want to see what the Ultras actually are. And the... think this card has a secret? It has a super. I know that. Yeah, it's got a bulk super. But your Ultras are bought out at $7. I'm going to be real. I don't really care about the Ultras at all. Just get the super. I think I have one of these lying around. Because it wasn't even, it wasn't even bother trying to sell. Impulses, these were always some money. We went over this card 3. They were dollars. I said, hey, if you could get these for throw-ins, go ahead. Now they're about $5 here. So impulses, quite a bit of money. But these have a rare as well. It doesn't show it, but it does have a rare. I guess I'll show it. Actually, my fault. Good thing I corrected myself. It has a super rare, and these are $3. Wow. Okay. Alerts are like $3, going up to $7. And then the other one's not worth anything, really. Solemn Scolding here. This is a card that is seeing play because of not only as a Judgment replacement, but in Genesis. Because if this only set card in your Spell Trap Zone when a monster would be summoned, or a Spell Trap card monster effect activated, you pay 3k, you negate the summon and it or activation if you do destroy the card. So pretty good. It has to be the only set card in your Spell Trap Zone when something would happen, so do keep that in mind. And you have to pay 3,000. But people are talking about this. This card was 4-5. I talked about it when it got bought out at first, roughly around a year ago. I said, hey, I told you guys to grab these at $2. Then when they went to 4-5, I said, guys, if they reprint this, it's not going to be as a secret. Go ahead, get your OG secrets at $4 to $5 again, especially if you match or sell them when they went up to 15s to 20s, right? Because just because you sell a card does not mean you have to buy in. If I see a card go like Ame, like for Mitsurugi, I told people, and this is the best example I can actually give you guys. So Ame here, Ultra, we're going to go on a year graph here. So you see right here, 10. I told people buy at this like $2, $3 mark. Way too cheap. Mitsurugi's very good. It was good at 5s, I said, but I really made the call to buy him at 3 because I didn't know if it was going to go too much above 5 or not. But at 3, I knew that was a done deal. I told people to grab them, and then they went up to 11s. And then because of banless hype, they kind of went down here, right? It shows $4.28 here, but in reality, they were about $3.50. I was looking at that and I said, guys, Mitsurugi's not going to be here unless you could buy back at this card. If you got rid of him at 12s, good job. You know, you could use that to buy 4 more copies. And guess what? It went up. Now it's $11. So, hey, if you get rid of them, you see how, like, let's say you got a playset of this and at, like, let's say 3s, you moved them at, like, let's say 10s. You got 30 off of 3, right? 21 profit. Then you put that into 7 more copies, and then you flip them again at 10, 11. It's that easy, right? Buy low, sell high. That is the name of the game, not a financial advisor. Same thing with Solemn Strike, though. But right now, you got 15 for unlimited. Your light plays are 16, but your near mints are 18s, 20, 25. They're quite a bit of money here. I actually have these. I got to fish them out. But I think I only have my own personal set left, so $14. I just like every Solemn card. I also have Dress as well. In fact, we'll actually go over that for fun in a second. But Mega Packs are about the same thing. Guys, very quickly, if you guys like my content and you want to keep track of what I say as well as make your own Market Watch portfolios, check out TCG Creator. It's going to be at the top of the description. All the cards I go over are there, and whenever you click one of these cards, it's going to take you to that card on TCG Player using my affiliate link, which if you buy any cards on TCG Player, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you. But this is a really cool site. You can make your own graphs, keep track, all that, and it helps support the channel. Let's look at Forbidden Dress here. This is a card I also have a playset of. I don't think it's that good of a card. People did hype it at the point. So I have OG Supers. I probably paid like $1. I don't even know. This was so cheap. Yeah, they are dollars here. $2 goes up to 5, but I have near mint on first. If we put light play, I bet like 20 are gonna be added. Not really. Okay. But you got some for like $2 here. You target face up monster field until the end phase. Card loses 6 check, but it cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, right? So it is a protection, right? Some people would rather play Chalice and other stuff. And, you know, people are especially playing that when we had like Mind Control and other cards in the game to kind of like trade and, you know, cards, right? 1-for-1, but I still have my monster type shit. So it was pretty good. And I always thought maybe Dress could come back as a like protection card, but I just don't think that the game is slow enough, even in something like Genesis. But I really like the whole like Forbidden line, so I like to have a place in everything. It's not. There's also Forbidden Scripture. I think it's called. I think I only have one. I keep forgetting that this card exists, and that is my fault. Forbidden Scripture. These are dollars, by the way. So the monster battles opponent's monster during damage calculation. Negate all other effects on the field until then a damage up. Also, damage calculation for this battle uses each original attack and defense. Right? So what this card basically does during damage calculation is I think you could basically forget about honest and damage step cards. It's a very specific card, but because we don't actually have that many cards that really interact with the damage step, it's a very limited pool. So they kind of did this to like put counters, but even during Primal Origin, like I don't really know why they released this card. Maybe I was just too young to remember, but this wasn't really like a chase card, but I only have one copy. I should probably get myself another 2 copies just to have the set, because again, I just like those cards, right? My collection's very weird. Let's just say that. Like, I still have my money turbo packs and all my great ultis, right? Don't get me wrong, but like, I don't want to be like, guys, I barely have anything. No, that's a lie. If you ever met me in person, you know that's a lie. If you ever see me play Edison, you know that's a lie. All right, straight up. If you ever see me at your mom's house, that's a lie. Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon, Starlight Rare. $400 for one copy, go up to $500. I'm not paying that price. Honestly, you could suck my dick from the back for $400. F Mirror Jade. Grand Goal also bought out 190, 200, going up to 300. Let's see what branded fusion's at, because if we're looking at money, too much money at 250. What are ultis at? Ultis are 36, very fair. Tri Brigade Arms, Bucephalus. Starlight Rare. Still low on listings. You got 60 going up to about 100. I actually ended up picking up a copy of this, actually. I'm not going to say Shahu because he might not want to know me saying this and being known. But there was a funny story how I got this, because the guy basically gave it to me because he's like, yeah, my ex-girlfriend pulled that, so I wanted to get rid of it. I said, I'm not going to ask any more questions. I love Yu-Gi-Oh players, man. They're like the funnest people to talk to when it comes to the card game space. I really mean that with a heart. And you guys might be like, Saki, you're biased. Of fucking course I am. Gold Pro on that, of course I am. Right? Gold Pro, but like still, Gold Pride Leon. So I talked about this card at 10 cents like a year ago. And I said, if you want to just put $5 or $4 in this, right? It might be pretty good, right? And right now, we are seeing a little Gold Pride movement, because I knew we were going to see it. And then we got the, you know, around the support, and you see that increase. Right now, you got 30 cents, 35 cents each. Now, these were like not even quarters. When I say they were 10 cents, I mean it. They were like 10 cents, 12 cents. This was the bulkiest secret of the set. Going up to about 50 cents here. I'm kind of seeing if there's any walls. What we're going to do here, just for this card, is we're going to say sellers without, yeah, sure, 4, whatever. The walls, because that's what I'm really curious at. So you got 74 cents, 20 here, and then the next one here is $2 here. Honestly, not bad. They do go up to 3s, so I would say this is not a bad card to get in bulk, especially if you could. And if Gold Pride ever gets support and they want to play it, and they, you know, are seeing play even in like Genesis, you're going to be happy I did, because there's some very tiny cards that are worth money. One I want to put a little more effort into, maybe, oh no, I have the filter on, guys. That's why. Okay, so I have the filter on. That's why I see those prices. Your Mitsurugi spells are like $30 though. Good luck, have fun with that. These right here, I did mention these at about the same, about 8-9 cents, not even like 20 cents. And right now they're still 10 cents. You've got like bulk listings up the wazoo, 836. But this is something you do have to consider with Mitsurugi is if it's ever played and we get the reprints, it's budget, everybody wants to grab their cards. Can this card be $1? Right? It's just something about these bulk orders that sometimes is good. You can like, and the return's amazing, but it's very late usually. Very late. Just my observation. How is, I thought, by the way, I thought this market watch would be like 20 minutes, and we're already at 20 minutes. I don't know how. Anyway, Gold Pride Captain Carry, low listings. You got $7 here, 8s, 10s, going up here for your Captain Carries. So be aware. Your Starlights, I talked about this card at $27. Right now, $25, going up to $30. This card is the exact same price, right? I'm not going to be like, guys, if you got them at 27, 8 months ago, it went up an entire $3 for your Starlight Rare from a course. No, that's stupid. But they are going up a little bit. We got some sales history here, especially during the end of September. And then we got someone's buying a playset on the 8th. So with Ultras going up here, if Ultras go to 10-15, we will definitely see people look at Starlight and be like, this card should be 50, 60. And I think that, in my opinion, someone's probably going to buy it out. I really do think that someone is going to buy it out. Again, not a financial advisor, right? It's all for entertainment purposes. But I just think that people do, even like people who aren't like vendors, or, people who are trying to make a buck. Some people like to say scalpers as well, if you want, right? I have more of a severe, definition of a scalper, just because like if someone buys like a playset here or like even like 6 copies, that's not really scalping, but if you go out like to a little machine, you buy all of it in front of people, that's like bullshit. But yeah, Gold Pride's $30. That happens a lot in Pokemon, by the way. There's like 100 million videos of it. It's always different people. It's insane, the value. And that's all that's being filmed. It's kind of crazy. Near mint, lightly played, card destruction. So this is a card that I actually traded for today, and I thought to myself, this is just going to be a personal thing, because I don't know where mine is, or if I even have one. If I have 2 copies, whatever, I don't really care, right? I like Yu-Gi-Oh's World anyway, because I just assumed that it most likely had a QC. This card does not have a QC. First at Secrets, you got lightly played are about $5 here. 6s, 7s. If you go first eds here, you got 24 listings. Near mints are like $7, $8, $9. Might not be a bad card to actually grab here for your secrets. Duelist League promo super rares. What are you guys at? 1,000 restrict. Like $3 going up to about 4 to 5 here. This is the Duelist League promo super. I don't know. What is this? Can I see the sealed? Is this a Duelist League promo? I gotta ask the old heads about this. I need to do my research on this card. I don't want to say any misinformation on purpose, but is this a Duelist League promo? Huh. Anyway, card destruction. These are Dark Legends, right? So if you want to get some higher rarity, hey, got light play for 10, 10, 10. Goes up to, well, technically 15. There's really not a lot of copies here. If you go near mint light play, 5 listings. That's dangerously low. So maybe you want to get your card destructions. Sales history here is non-existent. I don't even know what the point of is getting a mod play for 4.5 when light. Okay, whatever. Chaos Sork, not even gonna bother with Yu-Gi-Oh players. These are like 240. Near mints are 276. I got a VLP of this. I think I spent 125. This was the only card in years that I spent above 85% on. I think it's kind of insane, especially at least in person. It was, right? Obviously, if I'm missing a card, I'll just get off TCG. Like, it's just easy, right? Hopefully, it arrives in a week. But Chaos Orc Turbo Pack was one of the only cards. That had a misprint Utopia, because I found an Ultra Utopia with no name on it. And I was like, how much you want? He told me, like, I remember they were like 10 at the time. He's like, well, I kind of want more. I said, well, just name a number. He's like, you know what? $30. I said, take it, right? Not only do I know that card is going to be worth more, but that could be my personal copy, right? You know, I summon, right? I don't know if you guys do that with misprints, but me and my boy Jason, shout out to him. We have this thing where whenever we play no-name cards like misprints and shit, we go, I summon, I activate, all right, and we just stop. And it's not funny, but we start laughing our ass off. Shout out to Jason, boy. Been my boy for like over half my life, man. Oh, man. Yeah, it's crazy that, like, I don't know if you guys are your 20s or 30s, but there's some people that you were friends with for over half your life. That is wild to think of. Anywho, you guys don't want to hear me be old. You got your copies at 240, about going up to 300 here. I know they said they were 276, but it's always good to see maybe a couple copies ahead here for your Chaos Orcs. Also, guys, if you enjoy my content, consider being a channel member. You get access to channel member videos. I put them all here, going over every QCR in Rarity Collection 3. 3 weeks ago, I gave my whole thoughts on it. Rarity 2 will be also a channel member video. However, for my channel members, I will let them decide if I put Rarity Collection 3 probably as a main video. Most likely, I'm going to think about it, but I'm leaning kind of 50-50 here, but I think if my channel members don't care, I'll put it as a public video just because that video is going to be an hour and a half because they're like way larger. I'm not looking forward to filming a 2-hour video, but I probably will, right? But I'll probably put it up on like a Saturday night just because that's like a video where it's like, that can age. People will see it. It'll be fine. It won't be like a Monday video where I have like 20 million buyouts to like cover. It would definitely be dedicated to RAL3, but I got a little time. I'm probably going to start working on that Rarity Collection 2 video probably within a couple days or a week. Also, you get access to emotes and all that. If you haven't subscribed and liked the video yet, I don't know what you're doing. Like, subscribe. Leave a comment right now telling me what cards to go over, okay? Free info, all right? Free info. Anyway, Colossal Fire, this was $300. Now they're like $170, $216. Going up to like $300 here. Again, people like their Edison stuff. I'm kind of keeping an eye on these prices. I think this card at $300 is ridiculous. I think $100 was very fair. I get why these cards go up, but it's so funny because I spent like $22 on mine, and I bought it literally on TCG Player. I'm not saying that just because I'm sponsored. I said, I like this card. I will buy it. I wasn't going to really events, and it's not like you find this card out in the wild. Even when you go like Edison events with 30 players, you're not finding this in trade binders, right? A lot of Edison players, they like their budget. They really love their budget, man. Well, the one thing that I do like this, right, is a lot of Edison players make an exception with where, okay, maybe they won't play QCs, but like Nimble Hamster, they'll play the secret Nimble Hamsters to the 5Ds and be happy with it. They'll play secret Raikou if they don't have OG Supers, and I find that very funny. And I like that a lot, though, right? At the same time, Heraclinos, this card got bought out. Now it's still 160. Yeah, why would anyone try to calm this buyout down? You know, Turtle Pack Ulti, especially this, should be worth money. 160, going up to 194 here. I still have my copies too, which is insane, but I think I only have 2 because I only needed 2, so I got 2 back in the day. I maybe should have got a playset just to finish it, but you know what? Yeah, you know, I don't. It's not going to break my bank in the long run. Plus, you know, even though I got them for cheaper, it was probably like, I bought mine IRL. I know that. They were like probably 70s or 80s at the time, maybe 60s. So I got them probably for like 80, 85%. But, you know, it's been so many years. Like, it was definitely, it was probably a post-COVID buy, but barely. Probably like 2020. You know, I had that $78 sitting there for years. So if it went up at like $78 after 5 years, look, cool, don't get me wrong, but I could have easily made more than that in a year. So I don't care about this. The 160 is still very cheap to me. I don't care about this. Alley of Justice Catastrophe here. I'm pretty sure this is like a Planetary stock at this point. Fun fact, by the way, I don't usually talk about stocks, but Planetary is a very funny stock. And because I'm not a financial advisor, I'll keep it there. But I actually do want to look at YouTube, and I wonder if stock channels exist. I've never even Google searched them. Anyway, Nermits are 122. They can't say they're not financial advice because they're literally stocks, can they? Interesting. 130, going up to 255, 300. You could suck my dick from the back at this price. I got mine for $12. All right. Now this Yeah, it was probably around the same time, but it could have been 2019 actually. I got my copy for 12.13, and they were $15 by the way. It's not like, guys, I got this insane deal. No, just, you know, Edison Go Burr. Snowman Eater, these are getting bought out. Now, I do have one copy. You got your light plays at 26, then 48. Guys, snag those light plays up. That's pretty good at 26, 27. Rescue, Cat, one of my favorite cards in the game. Near mint light plays, we've got about 13 listings here because we're going to go without photos because, you know, that dollar copy does not count. 13, 35, 40, goes up to 50 here. Now, usually I saw play sets on the front page, but there was like 2 or 3. Now I'm seeing 0, and that's kind of bothering me. On the second page, there's probably 1. Yeah, but it's at 110. Yeah, I definitely would just get singles and wait. The sales history on this, I do go over this card once a month, is pretty good actually. In October, we got 4 copies sold, but technically more because on the 30th right there, it's, a few hours could have made that early October. This card is selling, and that's why we keep an eye on it. We always see a couple copies sell every month. I told people to get this for Yummy originally because I thought they'd play it. Boy, oh boy, was I wrong. But a lot of people were. But people were testing it. All that I said, hey, better safe than sorry. Boral Sword, and people bought out the QCs. In fact, we'll look at the QCs here really quickly here. Hopefully, you guys like the longer market watches, by the way, because I actually like filming them. I didn't expect myself to be this talkative, but oh well. $3 still, about closer to 4. I told people to give them at 3. Now they're closer to about 4. We need a deck that could play it. Imagine if X-Sabers, say, oh, summon a Rescue Cat directly from the deck. I'm going to start laughing my ass off. The new X-Saber support says that. Anyway, Boral Sword Dragon, just an oldie here. $5. What are your first editions? About 6 here, going up to about $8, $9 here for your copies. 22 listings, so not a lot. This card never got a QC or a Starlight, funny enough. Marsh Mao, Yummy. These are 50, 55s, 57. And they, 40s were too low, 60s were too high, 50 right in the middle. Starlights are 165. Very fair. And then Garden Rose Maiden here, calming down to about $72. I'll buy it at 72 just because it's one of my favorite cards in the game, just for my personal collection. 130 is just bullshit, but 50, I just thought it would go lower. 70, I can bite the bullet on that personally, but I want to see how should I say? I want to see how this deck actually is when I try to play it. I have not built it yet because I've actually been playing Genesis online and enjoying it, but maybe. With that being said, guys, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what cards we go over next Market Watch. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this Market Watch. Genesis video should hopefully be out tomorrow. If it's not out tomorrow, just know I'm angrier than you for that. Just because my editor ran into some health problems. And, if that wasn't for the first delay, that was for the second delay. And, I'm not going to rush that. So, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.